The top of Big Boy's tail has been sprayed with our spray gel, which if you don't have, you can just apply some water on a wet sponge and dampen the tail a little bit so it gives you a little bit of extra grip. So you're going to start by getting 2 equal pieces, one on each side at the very top, and a middle piece that's about the same size. You're going to start by crossing over. And when you have this piece that was now in the middle on the side, you're going to grab another chunk that's about equal to the top chunk. Oh. Now this side that you crossed over, you're going to do the same. And you're going to continue that general motion of crossing like a normal French braid. Oh. All the way down, trying to keep your braid in the middle as much as possible. You want it to be very tight. So you're going to be pulling. Now if this was for a hunter show, I would have a lot smaller chunks and be making a smaller braid. But since we're not doing hunters, we're going to do it this way. Big boy hope. Oh. Big boy hope. Switch it over. And some horses will press their tail up against their butt very tightly, so when they do that, you can either take like a crop or a sweat scraper and stick it behind their tail to help keep their tail out a little bit, make it easier on you. Oh. Okay. So once you're about halfway down their tailbone, which I'm going to stop a little bit short, you're going to take your ribbon that I've already had cut out, and you're just going to place it behind and incorporate it into 2 of your pieces. Ooh. And because it's the red ribbon, it's going to show through, but if you use the yarn that is the color of their tail, it won't show through. Okay, and so now normally when you would get to the bottom of the tail, you would tie it off with the ribbon. However, I'm not actually going to, because I'm afraid this ribbon is too slick for it to actually stick. So what you're going to do is you're now going to come out, braid 2 or 3 times just to give you a little bit of extra, and then I'm actually going to just put a band on it down here at the end. Now make sure your ribbons are hanging out and long enough that they have extra hanging out. Okay. So now what you're going to do, you're going to take your tapestry needle and you're going to be very careful. Go where your braid stops connecting. Well, actually, first you're going to connect your ribbons through the needle. Over there. Ooh. Okay. So you're just going to bring your loops through your little extra here at the end. Okay. Now you're going to bring it under, being very careful not to poke your horse in the dock. I'm sure they won't be very happy at all. Okay. And so when you get it about where you want it, you are going to pull the ribbon and your extra and your extra bit of tail up into your actual braid. You're going to have to fight a little bit to keep it flat. And when you get to this point, you're going to bring the rest of your ribbons up. So now, so you have it nice and tucked. You're going to bring your, oh, I'm sorry. You're going to bring one of your ribbons up. Again, now that you're out, and through one braid up. Ooh. You're going to do the same with your other. On the opposite side, making like a cross. At this point, you're going to pull it snug. Like your knot. And your bow. Now, if you have yarn, at this point you would just make a knot and cut it off. You can leave the extra, cut the extra, that's up to you. What I would do if I have an extra piece of yarn, which I don't have on me, I would take my needle right here and make one little sew knot right here through the top of the braid and make one single knot on it, and that'll help hold your braid. Now, if you're doing this the night before, I recommend you use an ace bandage and wrap your tail very good to protect it from them rubbing or anything, but it is sewn in. Your braid should stay for the most part, as long as they're not itching. So there you go. You have a braided in ribbon.